Concord is finally released, and it's 100% dead on arrival. I would go as far to say it's actually been dead for probably 8 years since the beginning of its dev cycle. Now, for anyone that doesn't know what Concord is, it's a hero shooter, very similar to Overwatch in terms of the heroes having different abilities, and it's pretty much a game with some of the most generic character models I've ever seen. It also kind of seems like a direct ripoff of all of the worst parts of Guardians of the Galaxy franchise, and focused a little bit more on inclusion than it did actually making a good game. So what happens when you have absolutely no originality at all, an 8-year dev cycle, and 600 players? Yes, 600 players, not 6,000, 600 concurrent peak players on release. You get Concord. So let's dive into it. So what went wrong with Concord? Honestly, what didn't go wrong with Concord? The first thing, just looking at it, you can obviously tell it has extremely generic character models. Just looking at the game from the basics, from anyone's first impression, it doesn't look original. It looks like, and honestly, it looks like it also plays like a game everybody's already played 150 times before. It also began development when Overwatch first released. So this was all the way back in 2016. That's 8 full years of development until Concord actually released, and now we kind of all see how that turned out. Right when Overwatch released, it was one of the biggest games in the entire world, and anytime a new hero shooter after Overwatch has come out, it's been directly compared to Overwatch. This is what happened when Concord was in beta. When it was first seen, everybody immediately compared it to Overwatch, and it had nothing better than Overwatch. Just looking at the game, there's nothing original, nothing anybody would go and play this over a game like Overwatch. It just won't happen. You also have Deadlock, which is Valve's new quote-unquote hero shooter. It's a lot more similar, obviously, to a MOBA, but even just looking at that game, it looks more original. The character models look more original. The abilities look more original. It looks like more passion was put into it. When you're looking at Concord, and yes, they might have worked very hard over 8 years. I'm not, crapping on every single developer that worked on this game, but it doesn't exude any passion. It doesn't exude any creativity, no originality at all. And it doesn't do anything from anyone's first impressions better than a game like Overwatch has already done before. Then when you kind of tie all this together and look at what's been happening in the conversation around the game as of right now and after release, there are literally developers from the Concord team, from the Firewalk Studios team, absolutely shitting on players that have any type of issue with the game or any type of feedback for the game so far. So right here, and I believe these have been deleted, that's why I have some screenshots here of it, but this is a developer talking about the release day and a little bit of the early access of Concord. So it's Concord's release day, so insanely proud of the team and what we have accomplished. A labor of love like nothing else, been playing it so much since the early access started a few days ago, and I'm so excited for everyone, for it to be available for everyone. Man, I'm so honored to have this as my first AAA game. It was a huge learning experience. Lots of struggles, but I'm glad to have gone through them. Time to go play. So I don't know who you're talking to, only about 600 players, but yes, it is time to go play. I'm so sorry this has been your first. I am too. I would not want this to be my first experience. 8 years of development for absolutely nobody playing your game has to be low-key soul-crushing. I do not believe it is you or any of the other devs' fault that this game has performed so poorly. I kind of agree, but at the same time, it's the developers putting their creativity into the game. If you are releasing a game with nothing interesting in it at all, I mean, obviously there's probably a couple things that if I play the game, I'd play, but I don't want to play a game in 2024 when there's 150 other options and just say, oh, this game's okay, it reminds me of this game. Oh, this game's okay, it reminds me of this other game. That is a recipe for absolute disaster in the gaming sphere as of right now. He goes on to say, I can tell that a lot of effort was put into completing the game. It just came at the wrong time and genre. That is very similar to what I was saying about Overwatch. When you go look at Overwatch, it was put up against that game immediately off of everybody's first impressions, and it's not the best time to be releasing a hero shooter into the market as of right now, especially if it doesn't have anything that gives you a leg up on some of those other games. The developer responds saying, I don't really care. It was a huge labor from a lot of insanely talented people making an awesome game. Why would I care about a bunch of talentless freaks hating on it? I'm sure having fun playing the game, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. This is an insane thing for a developer to just come out and say on release day. I don't know if you actually want people to play your game or not, but calling the people that don't play the game or calling the people that have any criticisms about the game talentless freaks is just going to put you more into the hole, and you're going to continue to see the game not have any success going forward, especially now that this kind of whole thing has gone a little bit viral and talked about on a bunch of news sources, a bunch of different YouTube videos. Yeah, not a good look. And then people responded to this. Talentless freaks actually came to drop some positive criticism. Apparently they didn't want that, but get fucked, clearly based on the game. You're the one with no talent. Honestly, yeah. Because if you're going to sit in a development studio for 8 years and come up with something like this, there's definitely something wrong internally with the company and with the vision of this project from the very get-go. Honestly, if you released this game 4 years ago, I think you would have released it into a much better market than you're releasing today, but that's besides the point. So lastly here, I want to take a look at these Steam reviews. I love looking at Steam reviews right after a game releases just to see if people are review bombing it, but to also see some valid criticism or if people are liking the game right off the rip. And taking a look at these Steam reviews, it almost honestly looks like half the people playing this game are reviewing the game. There's almost more reviews than the peak player base of the game as of right now. But let's just take a look at some of these reviews and what people are saying off of right now. This guy, Wreck-It Raccoon, said, bought this game from a CD key site to farm Steam points by getting clown awards from a positive review. Great. Next here, it's fine. Nothing amazing or that terrible. Might be worth playing for free, but would not pay $40 for this. That's another thing. I cannot believe they didn't release this game free to play. The market right now, if you're releasing a game like this, you have to make it free to play. Absolutely have to make it free to play. A $40 price tag for entry into this game was asinine, in my opinion. Not a good decision. You have to put it up against, like I've mentioned 100 times already, Overwatch, which has gone free to play. Why would someone pay $40 to play this game when they can already play Overwatch for free and probably have a million skins, a million characters they already like in a game that has a player base that is very consistent over the last few years? That game doesn't seem to be dying out necessarily anytime super soon. It's definitely losing some players, but why would you play this over that, especially when you can play that for free? You're not going to do it. It also has the Blizzard polish, which all Blizzard games, even though Blizzard has its big issues, they usually feel very good to play. He goes on to say, character customization is a joke, and even though I would keep earning XP, I have no clue what it's for other than meaningless number. That's something I've always criticized something like Call of Duty for, so it kind of looks like they took it from there. But none of this matters since Sony will probably shut down the server soon. That's what I'm thinking. I don't see this game being live for more than like another month. 600 players is abysmal. You cannot run a game. You cannot make money. They should not have done this based off a $40 release. Now they have probably made $2,400. That's horrible. I mean, obviously, that's just Steam. It has probably been a little bit more popular on PlayStation, given the promotion PlayStation has obviously had for this game. But that's another kind of reason why, like, how did it get this low amount of players? Other people are saying, despite the low number of players, I have no issues finding a match in under a minute. The game is a bit slow in terms of movement, but you can build your crew of characters to help with that by applying buffs over a match. It mixes a deck-building metagame with a marriage of Destiny and Overwatch 1 style gameplay. I have been seeing that too, people just basically saying this game is Destiny PvP combined. But again, why would you play this when you can just go play Destiny 2 for free? Why would you do it? There's absolutely no reason, and that's why there's probably 600 players playing the game right now. Another one here, fun, but like not worth it. Sony obviously spent too much on motion capture for those stupid cutscenes. This ain't it, Chief. Let's get this started. The game is Overwatch made by toddlers. I mean, I think we can kind of get the picture. To break it down, there's no originality. There's no reason to play this game over the other games that are in the market that are currently free to play right now. And now that there's a super low player base, you're going to have a very hard time getting more people to come into this game. That's pretty much everything. Also, don't shit on players trying to criticize the game or give feedback on the game or giving their first impressions from what they're seeing. You're putting that stuff out there. If you have an issue with players talking about it, then the issue is you, the issue is not them. Make a better game, make a more interesting game, and don't sell it for $40 when there's other free-to-play games on the market. Appreciate you guys watching the video. Let me know your feedback. Let me know if you've been playing Concord. Give me a couple comments down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe for more. We're going to be talking about Avowed. We're going to be talking about Black Myth Wukong and some more drama that's coming there, with people calling it the game of the year and other people saying it's absolutely not the game of the year. And also come join me on stream. I'm going to be streaming tonight. I'm pretty much streaming every single day, trying to finish Black Myth Wukong. I am currently getting absolutely trained by every single boss in Season 2.